Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you the Instant Pot Duo 7-in-1 electric pressure cooker. I will walk you through everything you need to know before deciding if it is right for you. And I will also cook with it to demonstrate the process step by step. So let's jump in. When you receive it, this is the box it comes in. Once you open it up, the first thing you will find is the manual. It basically covers how to use the Instant Pot and everything you can do with it. Next, you will see the power cord, and finally, the pressure cooker itself. Inside the cooker, you find the steam rack with handles. These handles make it easy to leave food or accessories in and out of the pot safely, without the risk of burning yourself. And here is the inner cooking pot. It has two measurement markings, one for the halfway point and another for the 2/3 mark, which is the maximum amount you can fill it. So here inside the base of the pot is where the heating element is located. This part heats up the Instant Pot, so you cannot put anything directly here. This space is just meant to hold the inner cooking pot, so be careful with that. This Instant Pot is the 6-quart version, which is perfect for a family of 4 to 6 people, but you can always use it to cook smaller portions if needed. For its size, it's lightweight, weighing only 11.5 pounds, and it's compact enough to fit easily on your kitchen counter or store in a cabinet. When it comes to usage, there are a few things you should know. Here on the lid, you'll find the steam release valve. It has a button that lets you release the pressure easily, which I find really useful. In other models, you have to turn the valve manually, which I think isn't great because you can risk burning yourself. This piece is also detachable, but I don't think you'll need to remove it unless you're planning to clean it. Right below the steam valve, you'll find this small plastic piece which is the steam collector. It's designed to catch any condensation or water that drips during cooking, keeping things clean and mess-free. It's easy to attach and detach, so you can remove it to empty or clean it without any hassle. On the front of the pressure cooker, you will find all the buttons and a small screen that shows the information. When you plug it in, it will display off, which means it's not heating yet. There are a lot of options here, and it might seem a bit overwhelming at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is actually very easy to use. On the sides of the panel, you'll see all the cooking modes, and in the center, you'll find the buttons to control the time and settings. The plus and minus buttons let you adjust the cooking time up or down, and the pressure level button allows you to switch between high and low pressure. Typically, you'll use high pressure for most recipes since it is designed for quick cooking. The keep warm button keeps your food warm after it's done cooking. And there's also a delay start option if you want the cooker to start later, like when you are prepping in advance. The last button is the cancel button, which you can use to stop or reset any function. So, before diving into the cooking modes, I want to talk about the saute mode, which works a bit differently. This mode lets you use the Instant Pot like a frying pan to brown, sear, or saute ingredients before pressure cooking. This is the only mode where you don't need the lid, and it heats up quickly. So, for the saute mode, there is an additional option that isn't available for the other modes. If you press the button more than once, it lets you switch between 3 different temperatures: less, normal, and more. This is great for controlling how hot you want it. It is a bit hard to show on camera, but there is a light on the display that shows which temperature you're using. Here, you can also adjust the cooking time using the plus and minus buttons to raise or lower it. So, moving on to the other modes, you have soup, which is perfect for making soups or broths. Then there is the meat mode, which is for tenderizing tougher cuts of meat quickly with high pressure. The next one is bean and chili, which works well for cooking beans, lentils, or chili. Then you have poultry, which is designed specifically for chicken or other poultry, cooking it quickly and keeping it tender and juicy without drying it out. You have slow cook, which is useful for cooking meals slowly to bring out all the flavors. On the other side, you have a rice mode. Then there is a multigrain mode, which is for cooking grains like quinoa, which require a bit more cooking time and liquid. Below that, you have the porridge mode, perfect for making oatmeal or other creamy, hearty breakfasts. Then there's the steam mode, which you can use for steaming vegetables, dumplings, or fish. Finally, you have the yogurt mode. I also forgot to mention that each mode comes with a preset time that you cannot change. If you need to set a specific time, you will have to use the manual mode, which is the last button. So basically, there is a lot you can do with it, but if you don't want to deal with all those buttons, you can always use the manual mode and set the time you want, making it easy and flexible. To remove the lid, you have to turn it to the left and it will come off. To put it back, just do the same process in reverse. I like that it has a sensor that beeps when you close the lid, so you know it is sealed properly. Also, if you leave the lid open and try to start cooking, it will show you an error on the screen, which is a really handy feature. So I think the best way to show you how this works is by showing it in action. So let's prepare something to walk you through the process. For this recipe, I will cook yellow rice with chicken to show you how to use both the saute and manual modes. What I'm going to do first is press the saute mode and set it to more to sear the chicken. I will also set it for 20 minutes. Here I could use any time, as I will manually adjust it when needed. You don't have to press any button to start, just leave it, and it starts automatically. So I started by adding a bit of oil and waited until it heated up a little. Next, I added the seasoned chicken drumsticks and lightly browned them to seal in the juices. I let them cook for about 3 minutes to get a nice sear. After that, I added the onions and a bit of red and green bell pepper, cooking them for a few more minutes until they softened and released their flavors. Then I added 2 cups of rice and mixed everything together to combine the flavors. I also used a little tomato paste to add richness and a deeper flavor to the dish. Then I added 2.5 cups of chicken broth, followed by a bit of bee whole to give the rice a nice color. I also added a bit of salt to taste. Finally, I added sweet corn and carrots to bring some sweetness and texture to the dish. Now, the last step is to stir everything together to mix all the ingredients and flavors evenly. So, I put the lid on and pressed the manual mode. For this recipe, I chose high pressure and set it for 10 minutes. It started automatically after that. On the screen, it says on. When you see this, it means the Instant Pot is building pressure. And once it has enough pressure, you will see the 10-minute countdown start. After a few minutes, the countdown began. Every time it has pressure, you will see that little valve in the up position. This is something you have to keep in mind before opening it. Before you can open the lid, the valve has to be in the down position. Now, once it finishes the countdown, it shows you an L on the screen. From here, if you're in a hurry, you can open the valve I showed you earlier to release the pressure, but I decided to leave it for 10 more minutes for the natural pressure release. This helps the food settle and finish cooking without sudden changes in temperature. Once the 10 minutes passed, I opened the lid to release the remaining pressure. And now it's time to see the result. It turned out to be a delicious yellow rice with chicken. I really like how easy and versatile the Instant Pot is. It lets you cook everything from rice to stews with minimal effort and time. The different cooking modes make it super convenient, and the pressure cooking is a real time saver. It is a great addition to any kitchen, especially if you're looking for convenience without compromising on flavor.